Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to come up. Maybe it's network on my end. Can you confirm that you can see it now, please?
I can't see it.
Okay, you can, right?
Yeah, I can.
Abimbola, can you?
Yeah, I can.
All right, so we're good to go then. So what are we going to be doing today? Abimbola, I know you already have the basics, and I'm sure a few other people here probably have the basics under their belt. So we're going to take that basic now and start doing web development with it. So with C#, you can do a number of things with C#, really. Like I said, you can do mobile development, you can do web, you can do Internet of Things. There's a variety of things you can do with C#. But for today, we'll be looking at getting started with web development using C#. And then to use C# for web development, we use a framework called ASP.NET Core. So ASP.NET Core is a collection of basically components that allow us to build websites with C#. I'm going to go straight into it now. My IDE is open. You can follow along if you want. They're going to be subtle differences because I'm on a Mac, but it's basically the same flow. So to create a website, a project or a website, I'm going to go to File. Sorry, I'm just going to use New Project from here. If you're on a Windows, when you go to File, you should see New Project on the drop down here. So I'm just going to go New Project from here, and then it's telling me to create a kind of project. The different kinds of projects here. I'm going to select ASP.NET Core Web Application, MVC. Now, if you're on a Windows, you might see ASP.NET Core Web Application without this MVC on it. That is not the one you want. You might see ASP.NET Core Web API. That's not what you want. What you want is ASP.NET Core Web App, MVC. MVC means Mobile View Controllers. We'll talk more on that later. So I'm simply going to select this. I'm going to leave this as is, and then I get to this screen. Now I need to give the project a name. I'm going to name it First Website. Can't spell first. So yeah, I'm going to name it First Website, and then I'm going to click Create. This flow should be almost the same on the Windows computer. So it's going to create a shiny new website for me.
Hello.
Hello, can you guys hear me clearly?
I can hear you clearly.
I couldn't hear until just now.
I can hear you clearly.
Oh, okay. So I'm just going to run through what we did again. Yo, can you tell me your name? I don't feel comfortable calling you Yo. Hello?
Yeah, my name is Abraham.
Oh, okay, Abraham. Okay. Yeah, so what we did was we just created a new project. So we went to new project, simply we selected ASP.NET Core Web App MVC, and then we gave it a name. So you can quickly do that. So it would be cool if you guys are following along, just for retention. It's easier to remember if you actually follow along. So
Okay.
we've created a new website. This is the website here. I'm simply going to open this node. It should look like this or similar in your it should look like this on your Windows computer too. So I have a collection of files here. We're going to come back to this and look at each of them later. For now, I'm just going to run the website. So I have a play button. I have a run button here. For a Windows computer, you should have a green play button somewhere around here, or you can use the menu. You can click on the menu and say start debugging or something. I'm simply going to use the run button here. And then it's going to build the website and actually display it in a browser. I'm waiting for it to build this one. And give it a second. Let's move this. And this is it. This is a shiny new website. It's very basic, but there's a lot we can do with this. This is a template. So this is called a template. It basically gives us a very basic website to start with. And now this might look very basic, but the things we can do with this are unlimited. So if Facebook starts from this, a Twitter starts from this, a banking application starts from this. And to illustrate, I'm going to show you guys a website I made so I was playing around with this project type because this is actually a new project. It was released recently with .NET Core 2. I was playing around with it and I made a demo website with it. So I'm just going to go ahead and display the website. So I named the travel info. I think my network is so this is it. It's if you look at it, it looks really, the user interface looks really similar to what we just created. This is what comes with the template default. This is the default template. I did modify a lot of things. So this website I made is supposed to give you information about a country you are and the country you want to travel to. So let's say I am in Nigeria, right? So I'm in Nigeria and it gives me autocomplete and I want to travel to, say, Germany. And I type in Germany and I click search. So what happens, I actually get some information about the country I'm going to. It tells me that the country's name is Germany, its capital is Berlin, the country code is +49, currency is euro. It tells me that 1 Nigerian naira is equivalent to 0. Oh Jesus, whatever euros. It tells me the temperature in Berlin. It tells me the temperature is 4.83 degrees Celsius in Berlin right now. It tells me the description of the weather. And this is not all dummy data, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to search for temperature in Berlin. So we'll see if this is giving us what we're supposed to, if what we're saying there is correct. Temperature in Berlin. It's actually saying it's 6 degrees Celsius on Google. That is not too far. Okay, so it's telling us that so this is even predicting the maximum temperature that can be at Berlin now is 6.67. Google is telling us that it's 7. It's 6. Let's just go back and use a different set of countries. Let's say we're in London, or let's say we're in the United Kingdom, and we're coming to Nigeria. I don't know why anyone would do that, but let's assume. And then I'm going to hit search. And then we get a different set of information now. Destination country is Nigeria. Our capital is Abuja. Our phone code is +234. We have NGN. 1 Great Britain pound is equivalent to 474 naira. Temperature in Abuja now is 31 degrees Celsius. Let's confirm this. So I'm just going to switch this to temperature in Abuja. Okay, it's 29 here. It's saying it's 31 here. That's a difference of 2, which isn't too bad. So the point of this is, while this might seem really basic, it really is a starting point for a lot of things. This is a simple demo application I made, but this might actually be useful to someone. Imagine if I added visa requirements. So imagine if you're able to just pick 2 countries and find out all you had to do to be eligible to travel to that country. This is a task you guys will actually work on. So at the end of this web development session, you guys will all create this application. I'm going to give you the resources you need, and you're going to create your own. So quickly, let's jump back and see how this application actually ties together. I'm going to stop this, and then I'm going to come like this. I'm going to leave this here. So I'm going to come to my folders here. Are you guys still with me?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a couple of folders here, and I want to walk us to these folders. There's a folder here named Views, right? I'm going to open it up, and in this Views folder, I have two folders here and 2 files. I'm going to open this Home folder, and what do I see? I see an index.cshtml file, and I see a privacy.cshtml file. I'm going to double click on this, and hold on, let's run this again so you see what, okay, so I have this page. It says welcome. learn about building web apps with ASP.NET Core. I'm going to navigate back to my browser, and then there's a text here that says welcome. So this is the text that displays in my browser, welcome. And it says learn about building web apps with ASP.NET Core. It is as simple as that. So whatever I put in this page displays in my browser. So I'm just going to come down here and add next 1 million.net. I'm going to save it. I'm going to go back to my browser, and I'm going to reload this page. And then I have this text here. So basically, whatever I put, this is called a view. So whatever I put on this view gets rendered in the browser. There's another page here, it's called privacy. And I'm simply going to go to my browser, and I'm going to navigate to the privacy page. And if I add text here, I'm simply going to copy this and duplicate it down here. I have another line if I reload it. But then the question now is, I can create views. I can add an extra view here and maybe name it user page and have some information about the person using the application. But how does the application know what view to display? This brings us to something called MVC, Model View Controller. ASP.NET Core works with something called conventions, and we've looked at this folder. So the takeaway from everything I just said is that we have a file that we put text in, and that file is responsible for what we see in the browser. If you understand that, that is enough for now. Just know that there's a file that you put text in, and that text you put in that file gets displayed in the browser. If you can remember that, I am fine with that for now. So, and where's that file? That file is located in the views folder, and then it makes sense because it makes sense for you to put it in a folder called views if that is what you're going to see. That is one part of the model view controller pattern, the view. I don't know if you guys get it. The second part of it is the controller. And the best way to illustrate this is really to open it up and look at it. So we have something called a controller here, and we have two methods. These are called methods. So when you have a code block, so this is a code block. When you have a code block like this, it's called a method. It's not something you have to worry about now. You just need to remember the syntax. And when you create a new project, it's going to create this for you, and you can always duplicate it. So you don't have to pay so much attention to it for now. Now I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to put a breakpoint here. So with C# you can put breakpoints. I'm going to put a breakpoint here, and I'm going to come back to my.
How you doing?
Hello? So I have a breakpoint here. I'm going to come back to my browser, and I'm going to click on home. When I click on home, watch what's going to happen. It brings me to my IDE instead of going to the home page. And now execution has stopped at my breakpoint. So breakpoints allow us to stop execution. What is happening here is that when I clicked on home, I'm going to open this and copy the link for this button, as it were. I'll copy the link, I'll come here, and I'll paste in the link. Okay, so slash, so it's supposed to be /home/index. Now this is what is going on. This is the link I navigated to hit this method. I don't know if you guys are with me. Now, why did that link come to this method? Why didn't it come to this method? For this, I'm simply going to hit play and let it go to home. Now I'm going to put a breakpoint on privacy, and then I'll come here, and instead of going to /home/index, I'm going to go to /home/ give me a second. Okay, I think I hit enter. I went to /home/privacy, and then it came here instead. Now, so how do they know which one to come to? What happens is when it gets to /home/privacy, it sees this return view, and then it comes to my view folder and say, hey, is there any view named privacy? And oh yeah, there's a view named privacy, and it says, okay, display whatever is in the privacy file in the browser. That is the way ASP.NET Core works. So these are the pieces that you need to get together. First of all, your URL maps to your controller method. So my controller is named home controller, the first part of my link. So I have my website address here. You don't have to worry about. So ideally, if I wasn't running this on my system, it would be www.something.com/home. But because I'm running this on my local development environment, that's why I have the whole HTTP localhost 5001. But the takeaway from here is that my controller is named home. So I put /home here. And this, so /home tells my browser which controller to go to. I can have several controllers in here. I can have several controllers in my controllers folder. But when I say /home, it tells my browser which controller to go to. Now, how do they know which method in the controller? So this is the controller, public class home controller. How do I now know which method to go to? I have to add /. I'm going to add /privacy. It can be uppercase, it can be lowercase, and I'll hit enter, and it displays my privacy page. What happens when it gets here is that it sees this return view, it comes to the view folder, and it looks for a view named privacy. Are you guys understanding me? Am I going too fast? Hello?
I'm just hoping that
for me.
you click
You said?
because this is like very new. Just I think I will get to at some point. You can continue.
Okay. Does anyone else have something to say?
I'm at the same level with her. Sorry, Isaac. I joined in late, but I'm hoping that I'll get it with time.
Okay, let's do this. So let's forget about what is here now. Let's do something. I'm simply going to add a whole new controller. So basically, let's use this as when you go to Facebook, right? And you click on your profile picture, what happens? It takes you to your profile and you can see information about yourself, basically.
Good evening.
Good evening. So, like I was saying, when you go to Facebook and you click your profile, it takes you to your profile page. When you click someone else's profile picture, it takes you to the person's profile page. Am I correct? So, how does your browser know which page to display to you? That is what we're talking about here. I'm going to go ahead and create another controller here. It uses something called routing. And then the URL you type into your browser, the link you type into your browser basically tells the application what you want to see. I don't know if you're getting me. So what you type into this into this address bar tells the application the page you are trying to see. And then based on what you've typed in here, it gives you a result. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a controller, a new controller to the application. This is my controllers folder. I'll click add new file. I'm going to add an ASP Net controller, MVC controller class, and I'm going to name it student controller. And I'm just going to click next. And then it created an index view for me. I'm just going to take this out. Oh, let's not take it out. So let's do something here. I'll simply run it now. Okay, so I'm going to go to /home I want to see the privacy page. How do I get to the privacy page? I know that the privacy page is in the home controller. So right now I have two controllers here. I have the home controller, which has the privacy page, and I have the student controller. The student controller does not have the privacy page. So since I want to see the home controller, which of these, since I want to see the privacy page, which of these controllers should I go to? Does anyone have any idea? Hello?
Yeah, well,
So hold on, let me come again. Let me
privacy.
let me come again. Let me come again. I have two controllers, right? These controllers contain views. So my home controller contains my home view, and it contains the privacy view. That's the privacy page, right? And then I have another controller, which is the student controller, which does not contain my privacy page. Now I want to see my my privacy page. Which of these controllers am I going to go to?
Your home controller.
Exactly. So I'm going to come here and type /home. Now, this link as is going to take me to my home controller, but then I have to drill in. I'm looking for my privacy page. So I'm going to add another slash and put privacy. So this link as it tells my application that, hey, this person is trying to get to the privacy page that is inside the home controller. So it basically takes this link and tries to figure out where you're trying to go to. If I hit enter, it displays the privacy page. Is that understood?
Yeah.
And if I want to display the so I'm going to return to my home controller. If I want to display the home page, the method for the home page is named index. So I'm simply going to come back here, and instead of going to home/privacy, I'll go to home/index, and I see my home page. Is that understood?
Okay, so index is the default.
Yes, index
page.
is the default. Index is if I take out everything here and just hit enter, it's going to give me index because index is the default.
Okay.
Any questions?
Well, must I put the index?
No, you don't have. No, you don't have to. If you want to go to the index, you don't have to. If you go to /home, it's going to give you the index page. If you go to /home without index, it's going to give you the index page because that's the default. But do you understand how to get to a controller action now?
What do you mean by controller action?
Okay, so this is a controller. This is called a controller. This is basically maps your URL, your link to a view. So this is an action. This is called an action. This is one action. This is the second action. When you come to this action, this view is returned. When you come
okay.
Yeah, when you come to the privacy action, it displays the privacy view to the user. Do you understand?
Yes.
I'm trying to balance. Sorry, I'm trying to balance this in my head.
Okay.
So this action privacy is like, in layman terms to me, the console right line, the action itself that is going to do. And this return view is what? When you say the action, it's not both of them, it's just the action results something back.
It's not what?
What exactly is the action?
Okay, so the action is a method that allows you to get to a page. Basically, its function is to allow you to get to a view. That is what it does. So I'm going to come back to my browser. I need a way to get around. It gives you a way to get around to different pages in the application. Without actions, you basically can only get to one page. Without actions, you're always going to have just your home page.
Okay.
Actions give you a way to navigate around in your application. Actions have a one-to-one mapping with your views. So actions actually give you a way to get to your view. So that is why when I go to /home, that is why when I go to /home/privacy, look, I'm going to get the privacy view. And this is why. Because this is named privacy, it came here. And then down here, I told it, oh, this person wants the privacy view, return view. What happens is that it comes to the view folder and he says, hey, someone requested for the view page. Is there a view page here? And then it says, oh, yes, there's a view page. It says, okay, return what is in the view page to the person, which is what we can see here. You understand? So actions give us a way to get to our views. To further illustrate, now we have a student controller here. If you want to get to the student controller, we're going to go to, instead of /home now, we're going to go to /students/index, correct? Am I correct?
Yes.
Hello? Is there any confusion?
No, not really.
The thing is, I'm trying to still follow up and just catch up. Or interesting fact anyway. I don't know. Let me not confuse myself now. Though.
Okay, go on. If you have a question, please ask.
No, I'll follow through. Just go on. I'll catch up.
Okay. So now I'm trying to reach my. So all we've been using the home controller so far. I'm trying to get to my student controller now. And so I go, what is the name of my controller? Student controller. So I go /students, the same way we went /home. And do I have any action in my student controller? Yes, I have one. It's called index. So I'm going to /student/index. I'm going to hit enter. And this time I get an error. And this is the error it's telling me. It's telling me that the view index was not found. So what happened is I told it to give me a view named index in the controller named student. And then it couldn't find it. And this is why I'm going to fix this before I explain why we got that error. Simply going to stop the project. And then in this views folder, I'm going to add another folder. I'll just say,
excuse me, sir.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, did you have to put, for instance, if you had just stopped at students controller without putting the /index, would it have sufficed? Like, would it have? I probably missed your explanation there. Like, instead of, if you had just stopped at localhost number /student controller, what would we have gotten as a result?
If I'd stopped at, hold on, let's just do it. It's better to do it and then see. But if I'd stopped at /student, it would have come to this index action because index is the default action. So I'm going to come here and say /student without the index. And
yes, please.
Try to find the index page, and then it's giving me an error. Now, like I was saying, I'm going to fix this error before I explain why we are getting it. So I'm going to come to this, my views folder. I'm going to add another folder here. Add new folder. I'm going to rename it, and I'll call it students. And then if you're following me, you should already start to get a feel of why we got that error. I'm going to say add new file. I'm going to add an MVC view page. I'm going to name it index, and then I'll say new, and then I added it to the wrong place. We're going to drag it into students, and then I have a view page inside of students. I'm just going to add a tag here and say students page. I'm going to explain all of this, but I need you there to see it work first. Now I'm going to run the application again. So I'm going to go to /students/index. And this time I don't get an error. I see a student page. Let me explain what just happened. So the first time I came to student controller and I told student controller, hey, give me the index page. What happens is it comes into the view folder, and he says, hi, so is there a folder called student here? So because this is named student controller, it searches for a folder named student, expecting that all the views for student are going to be in that folder. Do you guys understand?
Yes.
Okay, so that is what happened. It came here and then it came to look for a student folder, expecting to find an index view in it. But because I didn't create that folder before, it returned an error. It told me, hey, I've searched everywhere. I don't see a student folder. So what I had to do was come in here and create a folder and then create the index view that would correspond to this. So this is really a mappings thing. You're creating mappings. The first mapping is your controller. So you create a home controller, you create a folder that will hold the views for the home controller. Then you create an action, and then you create a page for the action. Let's do something. Let's open up the sample application I made and take a quick look at it. I'm going to say come open. Okay, here it is. So I'm going to load up this project. So I have the web project here. This looks exactly the same. I have some view folders here. I have my controllers. I have my controllers up here. I have just one controller in this project actually. And then you can see that there's code in this controller, and then I have a credits action here. For this credits action, I have an equivalent view credits, and then I have a countries action. I have a search action. I have an equivalent view for a search action. So it really is a mapping thing. And then what happens is when you get to an action, you do some work. So you get to an action, you do some work, and you display the result to the user. That's the way it works. I don't know if you guys are still following me. Does anyone have questions? Is there anywhere you're not clear? So just
Please repeat your last statement.
Okay, so I said the normal flow. Give me a second. So the normal flow is that you get to an action, you do some work in the action, and then you display the result of that work to the user. Let's do a brief example. Let's say the user gave us two values. Let's just pretend we're doing some work here. Let's pretend this is a calculator. And let's say we really need to find the values of 4 plus 4. So I'm going to create an integer here and call the integer 4. So I'll say int first number. This shouldn't be strange to you. Int first number equals 4. And then I'll go int second number equals 5. And then I'll come down here and say int results equals 4 plus 5. And then I want to display this out to the user. I'm going to say view bag. This is not important for you to remember now. It's just for an illustration. So I'll say view bag. Should I write a few data here? View bag dot results equals results. Sorry, I forgot to go first number, second number here. Okay, so I'm just simply going to assume that I've done some crazy math logic here, and then I got the results, and then I saved it here. So I'm going to go to my index page now, and I'll do something like one is eating and not offering to the rest of us. That's fine. So I'll just go the results of your super secret computer computation is, then I'm going to put my results value. Like I said, this is not important for you to remember what is going on here now. It's just an illustration. I'm going to run the application now, so you see what happens. So it's telling me that the result of your super secret computation is 9. What is happening here now is that I am setting these values myself. I am setting first number to 4, I'm setting second number to 5. But I can be collecting these numbers from the user. So I can have 2 boxes and tell the user to enter number 1 and enter number 2. And then when the user clicks submit, I do the calculation here, and then I return a result to the user. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to illustrate here? So, hello?
Yes, we do.
So your action basically is where computation happens. So your action allows you to process logic. So you've taken some input from the user, you process it, you do whatever processing you want on it right here, and then you return a result to the user in the view. So when you log into Facebook, this is literally what happens. When you log into Facebook, you give Facebook your username and your password, then it goes to Facebook database and it looks, okay, who is this person? And then it logs you in, and then it gets your mail, then it can display your profile. I can log in. I can't log in on Facebook and see Abimbola's profile because it maps your email to your profile. So that's what happens. It takes your email, it does some work on it, and it displays your profile. I don't know if I've completely lost you guys, or you guys can repeat what we have here. So what is important for me here? What is important for me? What is important for me as a takeaway for you guys is to understand how these things tie together from the URL. To understand why, if I say, okay, where is /home/privacy going to go to? I want you to be able to say, when you hit enter, it's going to come to this action. Do you understand? And then I want you to be able to tell me that return view means it is going to come to the view folder and look for the home folder and then look for the privacy view. So say you're working on a website and someone tells you, just give me a second. Say you're working on a website and someone tells you, hey, it's not cool that we have this extra line here. Please take it off. You should be able to know that all you have to do is, okay, so find out that all you have to do is look at the link. And okay, so it's /home/privacy. That's fine. It means it's in the home controller, which is this, and it's the privacy file. So I want you to be able to come in here and simply edit it. And when you reload the page, the extra line is gone. So if everyone understands how that maps together, that really is enough for tonight. Is there anyone that doesn't understand that?
I do. I understand how
okay.
I get the point.
Okay, so that's why it's called MVC. We really haven't, so MVC means model view controller. We really haven't touched on the model part. What we talked about this night was just the controller and the view. So if you want more controllers, simply a lot of times you cannot just pack all your functionality in one controller. You're going to have to split them out. But for a basic application, maybe you want to create an application with a product page. Maybe let's see. Maybe you're creating an application for a church website, which is simply going to show maybe the location, contact information for the church, maybe about us, and maybe a home page. You can just use one controller. In your controller, you can have home, you can have about us, and you can have contact us. And each of them just maps to a view. And then you just put the information you want the person to see. So for simple applications like that, you can use a controller. And what you have now is enough for you to make a website. I mean, if I want to make a website for myself, I can just come into my index page and just start editing this. And I would go something like, my name is Vincent. My name is Vincent. This is my page. and then I just continue adding information about myself. And there I have a pretty basic website. It doesn't have a lot of functionality, or it doesn't have a lot of functionality, but it works. Do you guys understand?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, any questions?
Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I can hear you.
Yes. Sorry to draw
Hello, can you
drag
type me?
everybody back.
Okay, your network is really bad. Can you type me the question,
please? All of this you're doing on Notepad, right?
Hello? Hello?
Or is it WordPress?
You said all of this I'm doing
Did
on
you get
what?
that?
No, please come again. Hello? Hello? If you can hear me, just type in your question to the chat window. I didn't get you.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. I didn't get the question you were asking. Hello?
Yeah, hello. Sorry, my network is quite crappy.
Okay.
So I said all of this you did on Notepad, or you did it on what's it called?
Okay,
What's
so
the other one I said? So
we're using Visual Studio. Do you have Visual Studio installed on your system?
any page you're doing this now.
We're using something called Visual Studio. So you just have to go to visualstudio.com. So we're using an IDE called Visual Studio. So you just have to go to visualstudio.com. Because I'm on a Mac, it's telling me to download for Mac, but you just go to Visual Studio. On your Windows, it'll tell you to download for Windows. You just download Visual Studio Community for Windows if you're on the Windows. And then you'll be able to create a new project.
Okay.
Once you download and install it, you should be able to go file, create the project, and just do it replicates the same thing we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
For everyone, please, I would encourage us to create a project. Just create a project, create a controller, ignore the controller, create a new controller, add the appropriate views. Make sure you know how everything maps together. When you enter a URL, it should go to the appropriate page and all that, and just get a feel for it really. This will be all for tonight, except anyone has any more questions.
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
I currently have.
Hello?
I have Visual Studio 2013.
Okay.
Professional. But this MVC is not here.
Yes. So I don't think Visual Studio 2013 supports .NET Core. I would recommend that you get Visual Studio 2017 Community.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I recommend that you download Visual Studio 2017 Community. Any other question, please?
I have a question. When is the video for this? When is the link for this recording going to be up?
Okay, I'm going to start uploading it immediately after the lecture. So maybe say 30 minutes to an hour, I should be done.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'll share it on the WhatsApp group.
Thanks.
All right. Any other question, please? All right. If there's no other question, thank you guys for coming. So you might not get it all at once. I'll be surprised if you guys just understood it at once. I mean, I would even be jealous. But when you go through the videos, if you try to recreate the project yourself, you start to get a hang of it. Once again, thank you. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Vincent.
Bye,
God
everyone.
bless you.
You too.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, thanks, Vincent. And don't be surprised, man. Someone of us will just come and just surprise you. We'll be doing stuff that you'll be so surprised.
I really hope that happens. That's what I look forward to. I really hope that
He
happens.
just sounded like a Nigerian lecturer who
No,
says,
no. I'm serious. I really hope that happens. I would be really happy. All right,
all
guys.
right, thanks a lot.
All
Thank
the
you very
same, man.
much.
Kudos. It was quite enlightening, and I enjoyed the session. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much.